Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Variax. So today this is a little different. My previous videos have been more or less instructional type videos showing you how to set up the Variax, get it connected, how to use Workbench. Today what I'm going to do is just share with you some variations of the Stratocaster that I created in Workbench. So it should be, something interesting for you guys to see where you can take, one body but do different things with it pickup wise, the way you set up the pickups, choose the pickups, even if you're going for a particular style of guitar using a different body to get there. So I've got about 5 different banks here that I'm going to go through and show you. The link to download these banks will be in the description of the video. So check that out. Feel free to load those up on your Variax through Workbench, try them out, and let me know what you think of them. So let's get in here. I'll explain to you what we have. Okay, so the first bank here is what I'm calling the natural Strat. It's what the name implies. It's just a good Strat sounding guitar. No stacked pickups, no boosting or cutting anything. It's basically just a straight Stratocaster. The only thing that I do a little differently, you'll notice on positions 2 and 1 where the bridge pickup is active, I turn the bridge pickup flat with no angle. For me personally, I've never felt like the high strings on a Strat needed more treble. Those pole pieces needed to be closer to the bridge. You get a whole lot of top end anyway when you're talking about a bridge pickup in a Stratocaster. So I'm very much, it would be weird to see physical Strats without that angled pickup, but as far as tone wise when I'm setting up in Workbench, I like it better to just have it unangled. But that's easy to change in Workbench. If you want to go back, just grab these handles or come over here to the angle setting and change it to a stock setting. But anyway, with that aside, let you hear what it sounds like. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one I have is what I'm calling the Fat Strat. What I've done here is similar to what I do with my custom bank when I play live. I have 2 single coil pickups right on top of each other. They're running in series, so the signal's more or less combined versus parallel. And then I have the level of each pickup pushed. I do use the preset volume to bring the overall level down so you don't get big volume spikes if you're going from this model to another model. But the idea behind it is you get as strong of an output as possible from the pickups to kind of drive the front end of the amp or whatever you're using. I happen to be playing through Helix. Most of you who've watched my videos probably know that, but in case I forget to mention earlier, you are hearing the sounds direct from Helix. So let me get right into it. The in-between tones, obviously I'm not able to stack any pickups, but I do have the level on the pickup set higher than they would be in the natural Strat bank. So not a huge difference, but it is a little thicker, a little fatter, especially if you load them up and listen to them back to back with the natural Strat setting. So anyway, here's what it sounds like. Okay, so next, this is something a little different. I've taken the Strat and I've set it up with P90s in every position. Now, P90 is still a single coil for anyone that's kind of new to guitar terminology or pickup terminology. It is a single coil, but it kind of bridges the gap between a single coil and a humbucker guitar, or pickup rather. So it's a little darker than a standard, single coil pickup, but it's also thicker and has a higher output. So this is going to sound a bit darker than a standard Stratocaster and a little thicker than a standard Stratocaster. But it definitely, it has some really cool tones you can get out of it. And in a little bit, I'm going to get to the custom bank, which is a mixture of P90s and single coils, which is that's how I like to run my custom bank. But I did want to do one with just P90s just to give you a wide spectrum of choices if you like this kind of tone. So again, it's going to sound a little darker because I'm using the same amp setup. I didn't change any of the settings, but let me run through that and let you hear it. So there's the P90. I do want to take just a second and kind of break the path of what I've been doing on the first 2. I just want to let you hear the P90 bridge, and I'll do this again when I get to the custom bank, but with a little bit of drive on it, I'm going to turn on the tube screamer to kind of give you an idea to why I like having some P90 positions in there. So this is the P90 with the tube screamer on it, bridge position. So you get a very nice drive. It's not getting into like a Les Paul territory, but it's definitely not a Strat bridge position territory either. So that's one of my favorite sounds. I think if I would, now having used Variax and Workbench for a number of years, if I was going to build a custom guitar, I think I'd definitely love to have a P90 in the bridge because I've just fallen in love with that sound. So had to throw that in real quick. But anyway, there's the P90 Strat. Okay, so the next one is a little bit different. Again, it's using the same pickup configuration as a stock Strat, but it's using the Masonite plank body, which in real life was kind of like the Dan Electro had one. Jimmy Page used to play these live. He would particularly use them songs that required alternate tunings. You'd see him playing these like In My Time of Dying. But when the firmware 2.0 and up came out on Variax, there were some folks that they weren't in love with the Stratocaster sounds that were in the new firmware. I mean, personally, I've always loved them, especially, you know, tinkering around with the settings. I could get exactly what I wanted. But a lot of folks came up with a solution where they liked using this plank style body with Strat pickups for their Strat tones. So I thought, why not? Go ahead and set one up. Give you guys the option, let you hear what that sounds like. Pickup setup, it's pretty much like the natural Strat. I did find this body type to be a bit louder, so the overall preset volumes have been adjusted accordingly to try to keep it from, you know, jumping way up. But let me play through a little bit of this and let you hear what it sounds like. So in my opinion, it actually does a pretty good job of giving you that Stratty tone. So it's a very viable option. If you like it, you can take this bank, and if you like some of the other settings I have on pickups, and whether it be the P90 or the stacked series run pickups, you know, feel free to load up these banks and mix and match and make it exactly what you want. Okay, so this last bank is what I've named my custom bank. This is essentially what I use live. So if I had to pick one bank to cover an entire gig, I would easily be okay using just this. It works fantastically well for what I do in a typical rock and blues environment. It covers a wide range of tones, but also I'm using the Strat body throughout, so it doesn't really feel like there's no jarring changes like, wow, this sounds like completely different guitars. It sounds like one guitar, but it's a little wider of a tonal spectrum than you'd get from just a standard 3-signal coil style guitar. I'm incorporating some P90s into this. So let me go position by position and let you hear and see what I've set up, and hopefully it's something you'll find useful. So in the neck position, I have basically the neck out of the fat Strat setting I went over earlier. 2 single coils on top of each other, run in series, a little higher output than standard. You know, it's just a nice fat neck sound on the Strat. I played a little bit of it before, but I'll give you another sound example just to let you hear what it sounds like. It's very versatile, great clean sound. For if you're doing licks or chords or anything, it is a nice, round, smooth sound. In the next position, it's still a neck position, but I have a P90. So it's going to be like the other position, but just a little thicker, a little warmer, meaning not as much high end. And just, to me, it's just a really good tone. So here's what that sounds like. One of the things I like to use this for, if I throw in a little bit of drive, is if I want to do a lead sound where it's not really aggressive, I'm not going to go to the bridge position for that, you know, a lot more high end. But I want something a little thicker than just the standard neck pickup. That's what I really like about having this P90 neck position right next to the Strat, where I can get to it really easily. So if I have that on, it sounds, I'm going to turn Tube Screamer back on, it sounds something like this. I also add a Minotaur just to give a little more drive. to me, it just gets better and better with more gain. So even though it's a neck pickup, I can throw out some power chords and it doesn't sound muddy, muffled, or nasty sounding. Sometimes with higher output pickups, you start adding gain and you stay in the neck position. It's so thick that it just, to me, it just kind of breaks down. You don't get a lot of clarity in the notes, and I really feel like this retains that very well. So to me, already in the first two positions, there's a lot of versatility and flexibility there to cover a lot of ground. In the middle, you've got the middle pickup, bridge pickup from the Strat. You know, not too much to say about it. It's just a nice in-between Strat sound. You know, I use that quite a bit for clean sounds, or you know, if I'm doing some articulated delay stuff, I really like that tone a lot. It's not as thick as the neck sound, and it gives that kind of quack that people talk about with the in-between Strat setting. So I get a lot of mileage out of that position. So the next one is just a Strat bridge, a single coil bridge. If you want that just straight Strat sound in the bridge, you know. I'm not a country player, so I'm not gonna try to insult you by pretending to be, but it's about all I know. But just to give you an idea of the tone, that's where that's at. You can still add a little drive to it and get some decent tones there. But it's pretty unmistakable. It's a single coil in the bridge position of a Strat body. But it's there. There's times where it definitely fits the bill. So the last position is the P90 in the bridge. I kind of touched on this when I went over the P90 Strat. I've just fallen in love with this as my bridge pickup sound. Again, I said this earlier, but if I was going to build a physical custom guitar, it would have a P90 in the bridge now. It has, again, like I was talking about with the neck pickup, it has the clarity and that I like, with more output and a thicker sound than a standard single coil. So it's kind of the best of all worlds, in my opinion, for what I like to do anyway. So here it is with a tube screamer on. Add another the Minotaur to it. I just like it. All right, so there you go. There are the 5 custom Strat banks that I've created. Again, the link to download these are in the description of this video, so please check them out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And I do always really appreciate your feedback in the comment section. If you like this, share it on social media. Of course, I like to promote my channel, but in addition to that, I really like to get the word out about Variax. Every time I turn up to a gig and play with it, I just think, I don't understand why everybody isn't using this guitar, because it's just so versatile, especially when you pair it with Helix. And I sound like a broken record because I say that every video, but it's just true. I love it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you get some use out of these tones, and hopefully it inspires you to get in there and tinker with your own settings and find your kind of dream setup. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.